Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those joining us on social media, we're so glad that you all can be with us. We're about to bring in our friends over on Instagram, and then we're going to connect with our friends on Amazon as well. We're excited about today's guest that's back with us today. She has a big event coming up this weekend. We're going to be able to tell you guys about and let you know how to stay connected with her. And we welcome those tuning in on Amazon Live. Glad you all could join us. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You see it either here in this corner or down below. You also will see some of the books by our next guest. We're excited to welcome back best-selling author, media personality, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. She's the author of this book. She said yes to herself unapologetically. You guys can see there. Also, this book you guys can see here, Naked and Not Ashamed. And she has other work as well. But we're going to be talking to her not only about her big 2025, but an upcoming event that you guys can be a part of and help spread the word about. Chanelle, welcome back to the broadcast.
Cyrus, thank you so very much for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Look, it's my pleasure. Hello to you, Daybreak197. I see you over there on IG. RHJ over on Instagram as well. Glad you could join us as well. So, Chanelle, let's jump right into it. 2025, you've been very busy already. I didn't mention you're also a motivational speaker that's going to play into what you have coming up this weekend. What has it been like for you, Chanelle, to use your different gifts in service of others, what you've been able to do?
Cyrus, it's just been very impactful. I believe that when the saying, your gifts will make room for you. Sometimes it sounds cliche, but that's just so true. God has a way of equipping you with certain skills and talents, and then also connecting very intricate pieces that are going to help you in your building journey. So it's been really amazing to me just being able to make an impact, knowing that I'm fulfilling my purpose truly makes life feel more worthwhile and just creates more of a zest for life.
And you know, the thing that's interesting that I think is interesting for this conversation we're having today. Typically, when you and I are talking, we're talking about how you're able to pour into women. You now are showing this year in particular with the upcoming event that you're there for young girls as well. When did you realize that you had such a wide audience that your message could resonate with?
You know what? Actually, it came from an interview that I did with Homer Blow. You do things, and I've always done things, with youth, at the church and different things like that, organizations. But we were talking about this dynamic event that was going to pour into women, and one of the guests on with us, she was saying like, well, the event is for 18 and over, and then which led Homer Blow to ask this question, well, what about the youth? What about our children? What about our girls? Like, they need something like this. And the moment that he said it while we were in the interview, it's like my brain started computing things like right then and there. And as soon as we cut the interview, and when I went right into, okay, well, you said this, well, then let's talk about something, tangible that we can get going in the first quarter, and what would it look like? And so we started having conversations, and that really kind of blossomed into this event that we're doing on Sunday, which is going to provide a profound impact right here for girls ages 10 to 17 years of age, right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and we're going to get more into that. I want to go back to the book I referenced here. And for those joining us on Amazon, I see you guys coming in over there. If you guys have any questions or comments for Chanelle, make sure you guys do put those in the chat. Also, if you're not following us already, make sure you hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. But she said yes to herself unapologetically. It's interesting you talked about that conversation because a lot of times when opportunities come, we have a choice, right? To say yes and mean it, because some people say yes to stuff and they don't do anything. Or to say, no, I'm not the one for that. What has helped you, Chanelle, to not only to say yes to yourself, but also say yes to opportunities to serve?
Cyrus, I think it just, again, it's all motivated by choices. We choose to either participate or we choose not to. I have to intentionally each day choose to show up for myself and choose to show up for those who I support. And when I heard the idea, it was like a light went off and just that instant fire. And sometimes you don't do things because you're scared, like, well, maybe I don't have this thing together. Who knows what this is going to happen? But I've learned just to do it scared. The momentum usually meets you in those who take those leaps of faith. Often you are rewarded. And it doesn't mean even sometimes when things don't go according to plan, those provide also teachable moments, things that teach you, okay, this time it didn't go right. What was the adjustments that need to be made so that we can tweak it? It doesn't mean we need to abandon the idea. We're just going to try it again. But this time we're starting from experience because we tried this and we saw what worked and we saw what didn't. So now we can make those adjustments.
Love that. Love that. And again, you've been able to not only to speak to others, but also to show by example what's possible in wearing the different hats. As I mentioned, a best-selling author, motivational speaker, media personality. I want to talk about that for a moment because, we all know the power and the importance of media. What has
Yeah.
it been like for you to be able to sit in that seat, literally, Chanelle, and to provide a platform for others to share their stories?
Cyrus, it's really been impactful because I believe that there is so much power in stories. I think stories is one thing that transcends language,
Mhm.
financial barriers, income levels, education. We all can resonate with the idea of story, and this a compelling way to be able to share both your personal walk, your gains, your insights. Even some of your losses, because again, those do provide moments of inspiration and also tutelage for others. But just being able to work with you, like it was a full circle moment. Like I love MC Lights. And
Yeah.
I always tell people, you need a Cyrus. And so
Mm.
being able to connect with MC Light was something that was really transformational for me because I grew up listening to her. I mean, line for line, we would write out her rhymes so we could say it, get the whole personification, having pictures of her on my wall, and then going from that through just the power of collaboration, which you've been able to do with Conversations Media Group, has
Mhm.
opened us up to opportunities that otherwise we wouldn't have those capabilities to be able to do that and to be able to share and to hear her impactful insights. Again, like I said, it just teaches you the power of community. It teaches you the power of a story. It also teaches you the power of when things line up and taking those moves each day. Cyrus, you're deciding to show up, and each day you're deciding to take a leap, and it provides encouragement. But success also leaves clues, and so when you see
Yeah.
people doing those things with their story, it inspires you to say, okay, well, you know what, they were able to make a profound impact with their story. My story can make an impact as well.
Such a great point. I appreciate that. Chanelle, Daybreak 197 says on Instagram, key point she said was God. That means his plan will work out. I want to talk about that because even this year already, in the first month of 2025, Chanelle, you've been
Mhm.
very active. You've been pouring into other women. Of course, we're about to talk about the event coming up this weekend. How does it feel to know that by your saying yes, that not only are you doing exactly what you just said, that you're able to walk in purpose, but to remind people of their own purpose?
Cyrus, when I tell you sometimes, we don't think about the space that we take up and what we do as a whole.
Right.
To me, Cain asked a very real question, am I my brother's keeper? And
Mm.
although God did not say directly, yes, Cain, you are your brother's keeper, but what he gave him was a reflect of the actions that he took, the impact, not only that he was having in Abel's, short life, but what was going to happen from generations forward. And so sometimes you don't think about the decisions that you're making, the choices, the ramifications, the things that are either going to be a light to others or also cut off, light and provide darkness. And so when you make those decisions each day, you're creating a ripple effect. And so we have to take a bigger ownership in what we do in the space that we provide and what we do, what we give light to, what we give our voice to. All those things says something not just about what we're doing today, but what we're going to do tomorrow and how we're going to impact the next generation. And so being a child, I had people who were intentional about pouring into me and creating opportunities. People in my faith base, my family, my friends, my community, they really kind of got behind me and helped to shoulder me. And I want to provide that same impact, for not just for our adults, but for our youth as well.
Right, love that. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You are listening to Conversations Live and watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're excited to welcome back Chanelle Coleman Wesley to our broadcast today. Chanelle is a best-selling author, motivational speaker, media personality. She's talking with us about a very busy start to her 2025, but also what it's been like for her to see the impact of her work. As I mentioned, she's already been able to pour into women, but now she's gearing up for the event you guys can see on your screen there. The title, if you cannot see it, I will go ahead and tell it to you. She said yes to herself, unapologetically presents. She planted, she watered, she bloomed. Get Up and Go Girl Youth Empowerment Summit. So again, as you mentioned, Chanelle, it's taking place on January the 26th. Talk to us about what people can expect at this event.
Cyrus, when I tell you this is going to be an event that's going to be so impactful, not only are you going to hear so many motivating, inspiring, and just teachable moments from people like DeRay Henderson, Millicent Driver, Brittany Draper, Ari Wells, Kimberly Nelson. We have our fitness guru, which is Camelia Harris. It's going, and of course, myself among some others, it's going to be a day of inspiration, a day to grab your tips. It's going to be a day for young ladies to see, to feel loved, to feel seen, to feel appreciated, to feel poured into. It's a day when the community kind of provides the warmth of the village to be able to support those who are there and let them know that you are our future and what you have is priceless. You're a unique individual. Your purpose and your worth come from God. And that's something that we don't even have to aspire to. It's just a sense of being. And just to be able to know that they have a purpose, even at this age. You don't have to wait till you're 25, 35, 45 to develop purpose. Your purpose begins now, and that you were created for something that's going to be dynamic and impactful, not just in this generation, but for generations to come.
Yeah, and I love the fact, Chanelle, one of the things Chanelle is very big on, and we've talked about it before on this broadcast, is that Chanelle does not feel like she has to be the only one. And so Chanelle has always surrounded herself with individuals. I want to bring other people on the journey with us. But I want to ask in this particular instance, Chanelle, how does it feel to know that you're surrounded by other individuals who want to pour into the youth and inspire them as well?
Sorry, when I say it's truly been inspiring, it's been something that's helped me to just reignite my passion and my purpose. Because sometimes when you think about something that's selfless, where you're not necessarily taking money for anything, where you're saying that I'm here to be able to give back, to be able to donate this, to be able to help to shoulder the community, it's something that's just truly magnetic, and it's just powerful in its own right. So when you have people who are leaders in their field, whether it's author, speaker, business, or even coaches, whatever it may be, having people like this who are saying like, I'm going to take time out of my schedule, out of my planning, I'm going to devote to this, I'm going to pour into this. So like I said, it's been something that's just been inspiring, and it's also helped us develop a sistership, which I believe community is important. Being with people who align with your values, with your goals, those things are important, because even the Word of God says, "How can two people walk together if they're not agreed?" So having sponsors like Dr. Velma Bagby, Homer Blow, Obi, and the Leos Den, and the Oasis Lounge, having a new partner come on, which is drug-free communities right here for Wisconsin, and other business entities like Attentive Care, residential living options, I am 69 Blessed Legacy, just different organizations who are saying, hey, we hear about what you're doing. We'd love to be able to step in and to provide an additional layer of support and covering for this girls. It's just truly phenomenal. I'm just really touched and overwhelmed by the support that the community is giving them. They've been putting it up in the schools. Mesmer High School has added the event to their website. Bayview High School right here in Milwaukee is adding it to their student calendar. Just having organizations say, okay, we see what you're doing. We want to be able to provide people in this community because we want the girls to get the support. So it's been nothing short of a blessing, something that's just provided an overwhelming sense of community, overwhelming sense of just protection and covering for our young ladies, who a lot of times are just being left behind in certain situations and circumstances.
Yeah, such a great thing, and such a great reminder too of the impact all of us can have. So again, the event, as we've said, is this Sunday, Sunday, January the 26th, at the Oasis Lounge. Again, she said yes to herself, unapologetically presents. She planted, she watered, she bloomed. Get Up and Go Girl Youth Empowerment Summit. Again, the event organizer is our guest, Chanelle Coleman Wesley. But as you guys can see, joined by some amazing individuals along the way. Chanelle, there's still time. How can our audience, if they want to be able to connect with you, to be a part of this, how can they be able to connect with you?
Absolutely. So the event again is going to be held this Sunday at the Oasis Lounge. That's at 3120 West Villard Avenue, right here in Milwaukee. Attendance for girls is free, 10 to 17 years old. So you can get them whether you're the parent, guardian, cousin, friend. You're like, I got some girls in my church, I'm just going to bring them down. You guys can go over and sign them up at www.shesaidyesToHerself.com. It's the first thing when you jump onto the page, you go ahead and sign them up. Again, the event is free. So you can sign up the children there. The doors are going to open at 1 o'clock p.m. If you're looking and you're saying, hey, I would love to be able to connect with this because I too want to be able to lend my voice and create an impact, then they can direct message me. I'm on all socials as Chanelle Coleman Wesley. They can also connect with me at she said yes to herself at gmail.com if they want to leave me an email. Like I said, I'm very, very easy to to get into contact with, and we're looking to be able to partner and to be able to help people to provide sponsorship for this opportunity. Because again, our youth are our future, and again, we're looking to impact 150 girls right here in the Milwaukee area, ages
Mhm.
10 to 17 years of age, and it's just going to be a day of inspiration, a day of motivation, a day of community, a day of networking, a day of feeling loved, seen, heard, appreciated, and poured into, giving some tangible steps that you can take from your journey from waiting on it to walking in it. So we're excited about everything that's going to be taking place on Sunday.
All right. Congratulations to you, Chanelle. Glad we could have you back on to be able to talk about the event. We know this will be live on our social media as well. So we invite our audience to be able to share it there. For those joining us on Amazon, feel free to be able to share as well. You'll see the share buttons there. And Chanelle, looking forward to hearing about the event.
I am too. Thanks again, Cyrus. I truly appreciate all your support and your help for this dynamic event.
Look, it's our pleasure. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live and Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.